As you may or may not know, my wife and I just got back from Vegas. It was a great trip. We ate, we drank, we had a blast. But then we got home and looked at the credit card, and I gotta say, it doesn't matter how much fun you're having, $25 for a drink is a ripoff. Frickin' Vegas. I hate getting ripped off, and so do the lads over at Harry's. They spent years watching the razor blade companies rip people off and said, no more. Not all heroes wear capes, my friends, and they want to prove that they're legit by offering you hot dogs a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/RTG. I've been telling you about them for months, and I'm genuinely proud to have Harry's as a sponsor of this show. I wasn't kidding. The plastic, futuristic-looking crap razors you get at the store are overpriced and they're poor quality. Harry's blades are crisp, clean, and classy. They're the kind of razor you'd expect your grandpa to have on his bathroom counter. And most importantly, they work. Shave after shave, they're so smooth, they're precise. I used to go through the crappy store blades all the time, but Harry's are built to last. And they're not just better quality than the other names, they're more affordable. And they deliver. Just set your schedule, and for as little as $2, new blades, shaving creams, lotions, everything you need, right to your door when you need it. I genuinely cannot think of a reason not to try Harry's. And I'm not just saying this because they're sponsors. They're the best shaving supplies I've ever used. Try them out, and if you're not happy, your shave's on them. And unlike the other subscriptions, they're really easy to cancel if you want to too, which is a nice bonus, but believe me, you're not going to want to cancel. Getting ripped off isn't funny. Switch to Harry's. Get started with a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/RTG. That's harrys.com/RTG for a $3 trial set. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Remember the Game, my retro gaming podcast, where every week a buddy of mine and I sit down and geek out about the games we played back in the day. My name is Adam Blank. Thank you so much for listening. This week, episode 55, we are talking Ultimate Alliance for everything. Every system, the Xbox, Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, Game Boy Advance, PlayStation Portable, Wii, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, according to Wikipedia. It's on everything. I thought it would be topical. Ultimate Alliance 3 is coming out this Friday. Spider-Man Far From Home came out a couple weeks ago. Endgame is still like the biggest movie ever. So let's talk Ultimate Alliance. My buddy Tyler is back. You may remember him from such episodes as Maximum Carnage from 2 weeks ago, and the Spider-Man PlayStation 1 game from back in like the 30 episodes. And today we're talking Ultimate Alliance. So I'm going to get to that in a few minutes. You guys know I have to ramble first. Quickly, if my voice sounds a little off, if I sound a little cracky, I'm having some asthma problems. 'Tis the season. I have asthma and grass allergies and everything. You know, it fits in with the nerdy image of the show. So I'm powering through it because I love you guys and I love the show. But if I sound a little bit more puberty-stricken than normal, that's all it is just asthma. So, Ultimate Alliance 3 is coming out this Friday. I'm recording this on Tuesday, July 16th. It comes out on the 19th exclusively to the Nintendo Switch, which is pretty rad. I think I'm going to pick it up. I'm just waiting to see what the reviews are going to be like over the next couple of days. Nintendo sells these vouchers. I think in Canada, I think a pair of vouchers, including tax, is like $139, at least here in Alberta. And so that means you're getting, a pair of games for about $70 each, tax included. I like to go all digital with my games, or as much as possible. And, it's saving you about $30 after you buy them in stores, because in store it's like $80 plus tax. So I think I'm saving about $30 with the pair of vouchers, and you can use them to download any like full priced Switch game. And so one of them I have locked away for Fire Emblem, which comes out in a little over a week, actually, by the time I post this. And then the other one, I'm waiting to see if Ultimate Alliance 3 gets good reviews. If by chance it doesn't, and I think it's going to get good reviews. If by chance it doesn't, then I'm probably going to spend it on Mario Maker 2. But I'm pretty excited. I love the Ultimate Alliance games, man. I'm pretty excited. I'm excited. You expect a potential semi-review of that next week on the intro to the show, assuming that I buy it. If the reviews suck, then I'll skip it, but you guys will find out next week. Or if you follow me on social media, you'll see it on there. Very superhero-y music this week, as you can tell from the intro, which is sweet. I download them on my computer, and then my iTunes syncs it to my phone. So I usually have all this video game music on my phone that I got to go through and delete. I delete most of it, but I might keep at least one of these songs on. They make me feel tough. You know, I'll listen to them when I walk my dog at night, and I need a little shot to feel brave. Also, thank you to everybody that has submitted questions and topics for the second Patreon exclusive episode of July, the Q&A rambling episode. I'll be recording it later today as well, and it'll be going live on Monday the 22nd. I got a lot of questions, topic suggestions, stuff like that, so thank you all so much that submitted to that. And if you're interested in listening to that, it's not too late. Go to, you guys know I got to plug it. Go to patreon.com/rememberthegame. It's $2 a month. You'll get 2 extra episodes of the show, including the rambling one and the previously released Cuphead exclusive episode. And we're going to be giving away a Sega Genesis Classic when they come out in September. The draw for that will be in August. The deadline to get in on the draw is July 31st. Everyone that's on Patreon gets entered into the draw. So please do not sleep on that. Patreon.com/rememberthegame. Enter to win a Sega Genesis Classic. I know how much I love and appreciate you for supporting the show. And if you don't want to give me $2 and you just want to support the show on social media, follow us. Instagram and Twitter at @MemberTheGame, just like Remember, but without the RE at the front. Or search for Remember the Game on Facebook or YouTube, youtube.com/RememberTheGame. We not only can you find all our podcasts there, but you can find Let's Plays, game reviews, the draw videos, because I do the draws live on video so everybody can see they're on the up and up. We just posted a new Let's Play of Bart versus the Space Mutants over there, that NES fucking tragedy. I finished it, but the Let's Plays are going to be slowing down now for the next few weeks. I leave Friday morning at about 6 a.m. for a 3-week tour of Ontario, and I'm not taking all my gear with me, so I won't be around to record enough. I'm not going to have time to get any more Let's Plays in the bank before I go. But quickly shout out, if you are in Toronto, Ottawa, or Kingston, Ontario, and I know a few of you are, I will be at the Absolute Comedy Clubs there. So go to their websites. I don't know what the fuck the website is. Just Google Absolute Comedy. You'll see my name on the shows. Come out, say hi. That'd be really, really cool. I'm going to be out there all by myself, away from my girlfriend and my dog and most of my video games for the next 3 weeks. So I need someone to talk to. And if you're in Edmonton, I'm hosting a new show tonight. If you're listening to this on the 17th at the Comic Strip in West Edmonton Mall. Starts at 7:30. Brand new show called Fill in the Blank. It is my show, and I don't want it to get canceled. So I would really appreciate it if you came out and supported that. Okay, that's enough. I won't plug comedy, and I won't plug Patreon probably anymore on this episode. What else we got going on here? I'm still working on my Ninja Turtles review. It's been a process. I've just been busy. They take a lot of fucking time, man. So, like, a lot of time. And so it is going to go up. I was hoping to get enough footage of it recorded to edit it when I'm in Ontario. I don't know if I'm going to have time or not. I'm going to try. Because I'm also working on a Facebook ad, like a real commercial, I guess you could call it, for Facebook. And that's been my priority as far as filming and getting captured of footage and stuff like that and recording the audio and everything goes. I am going to use a little bit of the Patreon money from July on some Facebook ads. You should see those probably going live, I would say, in the next 10 to 15 days. To try to drum up some more traffic for the show. Our listenership is up again, dude. I had the numbers right in front of me, and then I closed them because that's how good I am at doing this podcast. Like if you go, because we're through Podbean, and whenever I log into my dashboard on Podbean, I can see all my stats. And looking at it right now, over the last 14 days, our downloads are up 52.5%. We're just under 1,000 downloads every 2 weeks right now, which is fucking unreal. So my goal is to hit 20,000 complete total downloads before the end of this second year of the show. And we're all on our way, but I need to do a little bit more to promote it. I'm trying. I'm on social media and stuff. Hopefully this Facebook ad gets some of that done. So That's where your money is going. So thank you for giving me some of your money. I also picked up a GameCube adapter for my GameCube to be able to hook it up to my capture card, because my capture card only does HDMI input, and the GameCube still has is it AV cable, the red, white, yellow cables. So I've picked up an adapter, a cheap one off Amazon. I haven't had time to try it yet. I'm going to hook it up when I get home. I've read that some of them have lag, so I'm hoping this one doesn't, because thanks to Mr. Taco Shirt Chris hooking me up with a copy of Super Mario Sunshine, I desperately want to do a Let's Play of Mario Sunshine to put on the YouTube channel, because it's the only core Mario game that I haven't played through. So hopefully that works. That I'll be working on. That will be what I'm working on when I get home. There. I am fucking right out of breath. Asthma's the worst. It's funny because I'm literally sitting in an air-conditioned bedroom talking about video games, having an asthma attack. That's how cool I am. I also went to a bar for my buddy Chris. You may remember him from the Cuphead episode that came out about a week ago. It was his stag party, and we went out to part of it was we went to this like arcade bar, and we were playing the Simpsons arcade machine, the old beat 'em up Simpsons arcade, and it was really fun. But it's crazy. Just every time I play one of those old arcade games, like just how they're designed to eat your quarters and just kill you. Like it's so cheap, but you're having fun standing at the arcade game with your friends that you don't get. Like I'm not getting nearly as mad as I would if I was sitting here on the couch playing it with them. But they had the old Simpsons one. They had Turtles in Time sitting right beside it. We didn't get too into Turtles in Time because I've played that one far more than I've played the Simpsons one. And we didn't beat the Simpsons one because we were running out of money. But fuck, good times, man. Those old arcade machines. Oh yeah, and they had this sweet Ghostbusters pinball machine, and like just they had so many like the new games, which are fine, like they're fancy games and the shooting games and shit like that. But like when I go to a bar with arcade machines and I want to play an arcade game, I want old school. Give me Turtle Simpsons, give me X-Men, give me like Donkey Kong and Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man, especially. Like those old games are just the fucking best, man. I love them. That'd be such a cool thing to collect if you were rich and had a big house, which I have neither of those things. That's totally what I would collect. Anyway, it's kind of sad. Speaking of old games, though, Nintendo finally announced their NES games for July. I swear to God, sometimes it feels like Nintendo forgets that they're giving away new NES games every month. And then like days before they're due, it's like somebody at head office, like as they were leaving one night, like they turned off the light and then just turned around and saw like a circled date on the calendar. And we're like, oh, fuck the Nintendo games, because it just seems it's so like I've tried to support it. I think it is a cool concept. For $20 a year, I get all these Nintendo games I can play online and take with me on the road everywhere I go. But like this month, we got Donkey Kong 3 and Wrecking Crew, and I know some people seem to have a real hard on for Wrecking Crew. I've never really played it, but like it's over. Like Super Nintendo's coming in September. I have no doubt in my mind. I know I've talked about it on here before, but that's when the Nintendo Online renewals are due. Because that's when people first started paying for the year of it. That'll be when they drop Super Nintendo, because they can't. Otherwise, they know they're not going to get everybody back. But if they give us the Super Nintendo games that we've been begging them for since like fucking February, then they'll keep us for another year. And then if they start giving us Super Nintendo games in February, by November, people will be like, well, where are the Nintendo 64 games or the Game Boy Advance games? And they'll just roll out like one new system a year. No doubt in my mind. But they are like the NES fucking drip is dry. Like, what's left? Like, they can't give us Castlevania, Mega Man, or Contra, because those are covered on collections. Like, to me, like, the only game left I can think of, I mean, Battletoads maybe would be cool. I don't know how the licensing works for that, because they seem to be friends with Microsoft now, and Microsoft has Rare and everything. Is Earthbound, the Earthbound Beginnings, which seems impossible, but they gave it to us on the Wii U. And I actually would love that on the Switch, because I bought it on the Wii U and then never played it. And I would really like to play through it. So give us Earthbound, give us Earthbound in August, and then in September, just go to Super Nintendo. Quit fucking around, Nintendo. Also, they announced the Switch Lite, which is, I think, a great idea. It's like a cheaper Nintendo Switch. The Joy-Cons don't come off. I don't think you can dock it and put it on the TV, which in a way kind of defeats the name Switch, because the concept is you can take it from the TV to handheld anytime you want. But I think it's a great idea, especially for families with like multiple children, where you want to buy each of them their own, It's like having their own 3DSs. You want to get them all their own Switch. I mean, this Christmas, man, between the Switch Lite and Pokemon, Nintendo is going to make $1 zillion. If you haven't already bought, I guess their stock hit like a 7-year high when they announced the Switch Lite, and it's going to go up again at Christmas. Like, if you could go back in time and buy their stock while the Wii U was eating ass, you would be a rich, rich person right now. I'm also going to be keeping my eye out for a 3DS price drop this fall, this Christmas, because obviously the Switch Lite is replacing the 3DS, and there's so many, especially if you get one of the new 3DSs where you can also play like Super Nintendo games and stuff on it. There are so many great games on the 3DS, and I mistakenly is the word, sold mine like a jackass when I got rid of my game collection a few years ago, and I've regretted it for years, just because I want to play Link Between Worlds again. So I'm keeping my eye out, hoping to pick. I don't even care if it's a 2DS. I just want a new style one, and I'm hoping to get it for $60. So I think that's possible come Christmas season this year, because they're going to blow them out, because they're going to become dead stock soon. So hopefully that happens. And then in non-Nintendo news, they just announced a TurboGrafx Mini. I think the pre-orders are live now, and nobody cares. I don't think. Honestly. Like, I'm honestly asking, like, do you care? If you're listening to this and you care, please tell me, because I'm curious, because I never played it. I don't care at all. Could not care less. But I'm curious if anybody else does. So, what are we at here? We're at 13 and a half minutes of rambling. Okay, I'll tell you guys what I'm playing, and I'll shut the fuck up and get to Ultimate Alliance. What am I playing? My last few days has been primarily taken over by, they just released some free DLC for The Messenger. The Messenger is like an indie game. It's on Nintendo, and I believe it's on PlayStation. We actually have an upcoming episode, the September Patreon exclusive episode will be all about The Messenger, because it's a sick game. And they just released a bunch of DLC for it, and it's really fun. It's really hard. I'm very rusty at the game. If you've never played it, a real quick summonization of it is, it's like a Ninja Gaiden, however you say it, spoof, like a blatant ripoff, but they admit that they're a blatant ripoff of it. And the gameplay mechanic is that you can switch between the past and the future, and one is 8-bit and one is 16-bit. And it's pretty rad. It's a really good, if you're into those types of games, the action-y platformer, old school, very challenging games, then check it out. It's awesome. And they just released some free DLC. And I never play DLC. Very, very rarely do I go back to games I've finished and play the DLC. I never even played the Breath of the Wild's DLC. I hardly ever touch it. But it was free, and I've been looking for something to play to kill time until Ultimate Alliance comes out on Friday. So I played through it this weekend. It was rad. Highly recommended, The Messenger. I'm also still playing Tetris 99 because I love it. I've been playing Metal Gear Solid on my PlayStation Classic. I have abandoned the Let's Play of it because I just think it's going to be too slow and too boring for a Let's Play. And I suck. God, I suck. And I know that's the name of the Let's Play series, but like, the controls just don't fucking hold up. I sucked at it even when it did come out. I'm probably still going to try to finish it, but like, god damn it, it's frustrating. That era, man. That's why we're never getting a Nintendo 64 Classic. I'm telling you. Because between the emulation, and the fucking controls, it just won't work. I'm still playing through Paper Mario Thousand Year Door on my GameCube because it's awesome. And I've been playing Dr. Mario World on my phone. It's the new mobile game that Nintendo released, and it's free to play. Obviously, they're going to charge you to come back and play more and more. That model, I get why some people don't like. It's one of those ones where you run out of lives and you got to wait time, to get them, or you could buy some, or you need power-ups to beat some levels, and you could buy some. I get why, but it's free to download. And I get why some people don't like that model. It's not my favorite. I would rather just pay you $10 and be able to play the game like it was with Super Mario Run. But it's a fine time killer. As a comedian, when I'm hosting a show, once I bring a headliner on, I've got 45 to 60 minutes of just sitting around waiting. And after you've watched the headliner a couple of times, it's like, well, now what do I do? And it's a perfect time sink just sitting there. So check it out. If you got a phone, Dr. Mario World. It's okay. It's not perfect. Dr. Mario's better, but it's okay. All right. So that's all the shit I'm playing. That's enough rambling. We're going to talk Ultimate Alliance this week. That's why you guys are here. Phenomenal beat-em-up games. I guess you would call them. What are they? On the Wikipedia page, they call them action role-playing games, which sounds right, too. They started with the X-Men Legends games, both X-Men Legends 1 and 2, which I also liked. But Ultimate Alliance was the whole new level for me because I personally like a lot of other Marvel characters more than I like the X-Men. And so it was so cool to get to, like, you could build a team of like Iron Man, Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, Captain America, Wolverine, Thor. You guys know, like, if you listen to this, you played these games. Everyone played. These games are fucking sick. And then it's funny because I don't like this style of game very much. I've never gotten into like Diablo. I don't know if Diablo's exactly like this, but I've never really gotten into any of these other types of games. But I love the Ultimate Alliance games. I think it's just the characters kept me around and the way you could level them up. And as you leveled them up, their individual powers got better, and you know all their powers from watching the shows and movies and reading the comics and shit. I vividly remember playing the piss out of Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 with my nephew, who's probably listening. Part of me probably listening to this right now, like to the point where like I started to get sick of those games, but he was younger and he just wanted to play them again and again. And it was like, I fucking have played it. I'm done. But they're great, you know, and Marvel Mania is at the fucking, it's all over the planet right now. Ultimate Alliance 3 comes out Friday. Far From Home, Endgame's still taking over the world. It's Marvel everything. So let's be topical and talk Ultimate Alliance. I'm going to cue the music. And returning to the show this week, again, as I mentioned off the top, is my pal Tyler. We've talked some superheroes on here in the past, and today we had a great time talking about the Ultimate Alliance series, specifically Ultimate Alliance 1, which originally released on October 4th, 2006. Kick back, relax. Let's talk superheroes. Ultimate Alliance. Here we go. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Everyone that listens to this podcast knows about our illustrious CEO, my dog Molly. But the other silent partner behind the scenes is my wife. And let me tell you, my friends, a 17-year relationship with another person that has to talk to and live with you is a lot harder to maintain than one with a dog. We've had our ups and downs, and as you all know, a relationship isn't all sunshine and rainbows. They can be a lot of work. You get out what you put in when it comes to relationships, and talking to a therapist can be a fantastic way to put in some work. They can help you work through your issues, learn to communicate better, and even just provide you with an ear to bend when you need it. I've talked to my therapist about my relationships, especially when it came to my stand-up comedy career and how much I was away from home, and they helped me work on ways to keep my relationship strong even when I was out on the road. It turned out our relationship was actually better when I was out on the road, but that's a story for another day. And I know, right? Therapy. Who has the time these days? BetterHelp hears you, and they're making it easy. Fill out a quick form online, and they'll match you up with a therapist that suits your needs and that'll work around your schedule. You pick the meet times, and you can get your therapy fix from anywhere, over video, phone, or just chat. Become your own soulmate, whether you're looking for one or not. Visit BetterHelp.com/rememberthegame today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/rememberthegame. Okay, buddy, it is superhero week here on Remember the Game, which is funny because if my uploading schedule stayed the course, then 2 weeks ago I uploaded we talked Maximum Carnage 2 weeks ago to go with Spider-Man Far From Home, which I hope is good because we're recording this on June 14th. We haven't seen it yet, but I hope it's good.
I think it'll be good.
I do too. But today we're talking Ultimate Alliance that was on literally just about every console in the marketplace at one point.
And had different downloadable content per console.
Yeah, they tweaked it, which was kind of neat.
Yeah.
Just quickly, my guest this week is a loyal podcast guest of the show, Mr. Tyler Saborin. I think I said that right. Yeah. I'm going to say it like that from now on. I like
say
that.
Say it the French way. No, say it the French way. Go, Saborin.
With your fucking creepy Waluigi mustache, that works too. We're talking Ultimate Alliance, and listen, and we were literally just talking about this off air, which makes for great podcasting because we can rehash the conversation in the current one. I haven't played this game in a long time. Neither of you.
Nope.
And I also played Ultimate Alliance 2 religiously.
Yeah,
as did you.
I loved both of them.
Me too. And so, like, dude, yeah, same thing. I had to do a little bit of homework because I was like, what was in one that wasn't in two? And honestly, if we bleed into two, I don't think it matters because I don't know if I'll ever do a separate episode about number 2.
Right.
Maybe we will, but we're
Just
gonna
more heroes.
Yeah. But we're gonna try to stick to the original Ultimate Alliance. So, Did you ever? I assume you did. Did you play the X-Men Legends games?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of what I think. I can't remember if I think I played X-Men Legends first, and then was like, oh, there's other games like this.
Yeah, like so X-Men and that one I would like to save for its own episode. But like so the original X-Men Legends came out and it was like a 4-player top-down classic style arcadey beat 'em up.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome. I remember buying it on my Xbox and playing the fuck out of that game.
And you'd have 3 friends come over.
Yep, you could have 3 different friends come over, and that to me is
then start a fight because one guy wouldn't want to move in the direction of the group.
God, fuck. So I'm trying to think of other games that are in this style. Like Gauntlet is in this style.
Yeah, Gauntlet was a classic.
If I'm not, and I've never played it, which is one of my biggest gaming sins thus far. But I believe Diablo is in the similar light.
Yeah.
It's top down, running around beating shit up.
It's online, so you don't have everybody on one screen, right? But it's the same style,
same concept,
loot based, heavily loot based though.
And so like X-Men Legends came out, and it was like this top down beat 'em up RPG, which was rad because you could get like experience and shit to level up the heroes and give them more powers, but you can only draw from the X-Men. And it was cool. And then in X-Men Legends 2, you teamed up with Magneto and friends.
Yeah,
and you
so you
controlled
had the Brotherhood, right?
which was really cool.
Yeah.
But then
Magneto is a beast.
Magneto's a monster. Yeah. But then when Ultimate Alliance came out,
you got almost everybody.
Like I blew my load because I was like, holy fuck! So they just took the X-Men, picked the best X-Men, and put them in with the rest of the Marvel universe, and like literally the rest of the Marvel universe.
Well, and I'm the type of guy where I'm like, oh, you just need Spider-Man, Wolverine, Deadpool, and Thor. I mean, why would you have a team made up? So I was like, I wonder who else was in the game. Because that's the only 4 I could remember.
Okay.
So I would go through and I start reading the list, and I'm like, oh, I really didn't utilize any of these characters.
Yeah.
Like maybe Captain America. But
So just quickly, because like you said, every game had like different additional characters, but the core roster. This is what you could make any team of 4 you wanted out of these, which was to me like the absolute attraction to this game. Captain America, Deadpool, Elektra, Human Torch, Iceman, Invisible Woman, Iron Man, Luke Cage, Mr. Fantastic, Miss Marvel, Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, Storm, Thing, Thor, Wolverine, Black Panther, Blade, Daredevil, Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, Nick Fury, and Silver Surfer. That's your core roster.
Yeah, then there were downloadable characters per system that were like specific to the system. Like Black Widow, Captain Marvel, Colossus, Cyclops, so on and so forth.
Unreal, man. Like that's a fucking all-star lineup. And what was like, so the 2 things I love the most about these games. One is the ability to just pick a team of 4 anytime you want. And if I'm not mistaken, you only start out with certain characters and then you recruit more as you go through the game, right? But like, I love being able to build up just whatever roster you want out of these guys a team of 4. And to me, like what they do the absolute best in these games is the way they each character handles like a unique character.
Yeah, they have, they have unique skills. I think they sacrificed maybe a little bit in the graphics to just have more on the screen, right?
Which is fine.
More characters, more unique abilities.
Like I'll tell you, that's something actually that really chaps my ass about gaming today in particular. Is like I mean I love good graphics as much as the next guy. Like I will give up good graphics for better gameplay 100 out of 100 times. 100 out of 100. Maybe that's the retro gamer in me. I don't know, because the old games didn't look great. But like, dude, if you can make it fun, fucking, I don't care if I can like make out the stubble that Captain America has. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
No.
Well, he never has stubble.
He's clean shaven.
Yeah, he's always
100% of the time.
But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could care less about that stuff. Just
Except
like,
for in the
let
movies,
me know who each one is from the top. And like, I still think this game looks great. And I think that part of the sacrifice of the graphics is what made it easy for them to port to so many different consoles.
Yeah.
Because it was on different generations of the same consoles and stuff like that. And this game's been released fucking everywhere, man. Everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I fucking... And I think that one of the things, too, is like they made it so... Not necessarily in a bad way, but like it's kind of unbalanced. Some of the heroes are clearly so much more powerful and easier to use than other heroes.
Yeah, and like, also when you slowly introduce heroes... Naturally, the first heroes you have are going to be way more powerful,
right?
Just because of the RPG element,
right? And like, and the thing about it is, like, I'm okay with that because, like, the simple fact is, if you put Spider-Man and you put Mr. Fantastic in the same situation to fight a bunch of bad guys, Spider-Man's going to have a much easier time. Mr. Fantastic stretches. That's all he fucking does.
And he's a super genius.
Right, whatever. So he can throw his
Spider-Man's like
brain
a
at them.
normal genius.
Yeah. But like, so I'm okay with that, like the unbalancing. Because like you said, you had a team of 4, and that was the team you rolled forever.
For the whole game.
And who is it again?
Thor,
Yeah.
Wolverine,
Yeah.
Deadpool, and Spider-Man.
Okay.
And I don't think you get Deadpool right away. I think...
Yeah, I don't remember having him right away. I haven't played it forever.
I think you had to unlock him. So, but as soon as I got Deadpool, he was in the roster.
So
I think it was Captain America at first, and then I would just fuck
Right.
you, Cap.
okay, so because I was gonna say, like, I mean, Spider-Man is my absolute go-to in this game. Spider-Man, for my money, is the best character in the game because he can do everything. Like
Right.
he's everything, and he's so awesome. Because he's Spider-Man, he's awesome. I would always use Ghost Rider because I think Ghost Rider is like the coolest hero ever, and he was
looks
pretty
the
badass
coolest.
in this game.
Yeah.
Iron Man got stupid powerful as you charged up all of his like shots that he could shoot, like
Yeah.
and then he could fly, and so you would just fly. I would just fly away from whatever was attacking us and just blast the fuck out of them. And then my 4th guy, I would flip between usually Wolverine and Captain America. Yeah, Wolverine is such a useful tank in this fucking game.
Oh yeah, and then passively healing. So
Yeah, and like okay, and there we go. Like that's to me, that's like the absolute like. So the reason that we're releasing this episode today is because Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is coming out. I don't know exactly what day this will be going out, but it'll either just came out or it'll be coming out in a couple of days.
is it going to be on the Switch?
Yeah, it's Switch exclusive.
Oh, I'm
which is
getting
cool. Yeah, me too. I'm pretty excited.
You should also get Diablo 3 on the Switch, by the way. Just since
Yeah.
you mentioned you've
Yeah,
never played Diablo.
I should. You're right. I should. I'm pretty excited for it. But like, I love being able to build a team. But like the way that they capture each character's feel and their powers is so cool. There's certain characters that can fly, but certain characters can't.
Yeah.
And so there are aspects of levels where the non-flying characters have to run, down a hall and across a bridge or what have you. You know what I mean? Whereas the flying ones can just skip across and they're there.
That's where you're a team of 4, and then all of a sudden, fuck Wolverine, because Spider-Man swings across, Thor flies.
Mm-hmm. And that's where some of the tanks, because it's a beat 'em up, and the game we talked about 2 weeks ago or whatever I would have posted at Maximum Carnage is also a beat 'em up. But like this is one of those beat 'em ups that I didn't find get old because there was so much variety in how every hero played. At any point, you could just trade out and have more fun.
And then the over-the-top aspect, I like that point of view, the third person over the top.
Me too.
Kind of explore the world a little bit more.
Yeah,
You're
it's not
just
left
side-
to right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I would call it like 2.5D.
Yeah. More
kinda game.
dynamic that way.
But yeah, like it's like so to me, like the flying characters were cool because they could get away easier and get into certain areas and kind of fight from a distance, like Iron Man or Iceman and stuff like that. Whereas like the tanks, like Thing and Wolverine, were badasses that could take a ton of damage, and they could pick stuff up and throw. Well, I don't think Wolverine could, but like Thing and those guys could pick stuff up, throw heavy items at guys and stuff like that. And like the fact that like they gave Wolverine his healing powers, so that he would constantly slowly regain health, and whereas other characters wouldn't do that. Like the developers of the game really took the time to do their nerd homework and be like, hey, what powers does the Human Torch have? Like, what does he have that makes him unique? And that's what we have to give him,
So in complimenting them on doing their nerd homework, the plot also is not, I don't know if they drew from an actual comic plot, but that the way the plot rolls out is how a lot of Marvel comics roll out, where it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. The stakes keep getting higher, and to the point of like cosmic ridiculousness, where Doctor Doom takes Odin's power and has access to the Odin Force, which they don't cover in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But like Odin is one of the Omega level, beings.
That's Thor's dad, right?
Yeah. And like can fight Galactus effortlessly. Like Odin can, I don't know. His fucking power pool is bigger than Superman's. Like when they talk about Superman being overpowered, man, there's people in the Marvel universe that are just as overpowered.
Yeah.
To the point of ridiculous. Like Odin doesn't care about the comings and goings of man because he's so powered. And then Doctor Doom has that power in this.
Right. And that's one of the cool things about this game too, is that they were able to put together, because like you said, it is, if you're a Marvel fan, it is Marvel fan service to the fucking
the max.
balls.
Yeah.
It is,
they have the Watchers in it. They have the Man, they just goes through everybody's villains. And it's the whole universe is tied together. Like I said it, I think it was last week when the last episode comes out, where I said it's better than Endgame. It is better than Endgame. It just ties so much more together.
Yeah, it might be. It literally is the video game equivalent of Endgame.
Yeah.
Like, minus having a ton of games leading up to it. You know what I mean? They just kind of dropped them all into it.
I'm pretty sure Thor even had Stormbreaker in it. Like, he didn't have his hammer.
Dude,
he
it's sick. Like, the way that they just tie everything in. They find these, like, and then, like you said, as you acquire more heroes where you're like, well, now my team is fucking untouchable. Then the bad guys fucking do more. It's not just Doctor Doom. I remember there's a fight against Galactus that's fucking rad. And and that was one of the things too. If I'm not mistaken, a lot of the major boss fights just turned into big QuickTime events.
Yeah,
and that was how you fought them. And the thing is, I know some people dislike that and don't like QuickTime events. Where, you know, you just like the A pops up on the screen and you have 2 seconds to hit the button A. But like, as fun as the beat 'em up action of the game is, it does, like, beat 'em ups as a whole get old after a while. And so I don't have a problem with them changing up a boss fight, and instead of it just being another huge beat 'em up where there's a big guy in the middle of the screen with 4 people surrounding him and hitting him, you actually have to go in and like do the, you know what I mean? Like, it gives it a little bit of a variety, and I have no problem with that at all, personally.
Yeah, I mean, that was I think the first time I saw that was in God of War. It was the first time I was playing QuickTime events.
Right.
I loved it in that.
Yeah, I have no problem with it. It's like,
I probably played this before God of War, so this is probably one of the first times that I did the QuickTime events. But it's good. It's a good way, especially fighting someone as Colossus as Galactus, right? Like,
totally, yeah. Like, to me, the only problem with, where the issue comes in with QuickTime events is when a game does nothing but QuickTime, like when it's constant quick, that's when it gets old fast, you know. But when it's just every once in a while, and it turns into, like, because some of those fights, like, they're not really that epic in the sense of, like, you're just bashing, like, the right button at the right time, but they look sick. You know what I mean? Like, and like, to me,
it creates an element of suspense and excitement, right?
And like, to me, if you're gonna fight Galactus, like, I would rather have it be a scene like that over, like, literally Galactus is just standing there and it's just 4 guys punching him and then running away to heal and then punching. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you shouldn't play Diablo 3 anymore. I take it back. That's how all the boss fights are.
That's not how you stop a Galactus. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's pretty cool. And I forgot to mention, actually, I think Silver Surfer was in this game. Oh, he was. Yeah,
you get him later.
Silver Surfer was pretty badass in this game too.
Yeah.
To me, like, the strongest characters are the Silver Surfers. They're the Spider-Mans. They're the ones that can fly, that have some kinds of projectiles. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, that can
ranged.
they can pick up the heavy things. Like, they can literally do everything. Like, and that's where, like, maybe they're a little bit overpowered.
Versus the Luke Cage, who just is a big guy.
Yeah. Right. Or Blade.
I forgot Blade's in this game.
I like Blade, but Blade's a pussy.
He's not fighting any vampires. That's
right. But, like,
he's
to
not
me,
passionate about it. He didn't give a shit. He's like, I don't know. Is there a vampire? No. I guess I'll help.
Do I get paid for this? Like, yeah. But, like, again, like, I think it's pretty admirable that it, like, what could have just been a basic beat 'em up game, they took the time to really, each guy or each character handles a little bit differently and feel like some of them feel stronger
and drastically different. Like, some of them feel drastically different from one another.
Right. And I really enjoy that. And we haven't even gotten into the leveling up, which is another thing. Like, admittedly, I don't know how big of difference leveling up makes in characters aside from unlocking new moves and abilities.
I think there's near the end, when you come back to Earth after doing a bunch of shit in Asgard, Doctor Doom's conquered the Earth and has cloned a bunch of the heroes. I think that's when you'll see how big. It's basically you fight like a level 1 Spider-Man versus the level whatever 15 you are at that time.
Because, like, it's really cool that, like, and that's actually another thing, and this goes all the way back to the original X-Men Legend game that I thought was rad. Because X-Men Legend, you start out as just Wolverine.
Yeah.
And then you kind of acquire the team, right? But, like, going into, like, the power-ups and level-up screen, it's so cool to see, like, just how like, Captain America can throw. He's the only character in the game, I believe, that has a power like this. He can throw his shield, and once you've thrown your shield, if you hold the right trigger, you can steer the shield with your joystick and just go around and hit guys. And it starts out, you can do it for like 2 or 3 seconds or something. But then as you level him up and his power gets stronger, you can throw it for like 10, 15. Seconds, you know what I mean? You can just stand in the back corner, whip his shield in, and just control it around the screen, hitting everybody. You know, or like Spider-Man can do different things with his webs, or like I said, Iron Man, dude. Once you start leveling up, Iron Man's fucking blasting out of his suit. He turns into a fucking hoss.
Yeah, well, and that's what I used Thor as was my powerhouse. Where you just level him up, and then all of a sudden with Stormbreaker, he's clearing the whole map. And everybody walks through.
And I really enjoy it because to me, like I don't replay a ton of video games, like at least not for a very long time. I'll finish a game and then I'm done. I love when games put a mode in where like as you finish it, like which this one has, I believe, as you finish it, they're like, all right, well now hop back in and do it again, and you get this and this, and I'm always like, I'm ready to move on to the next game. I don't want to do that. But this is one of those games where it's like I could literally just load up a whole different team with whole different powers and fucking try it all over again.
Oh, absolutely.
And I really appreciate that. And they all have different costumes.
Yeah,
which is
the
cool.
alternate for Thor is Beta Ray Bill. I don't know if you know enough.
I have no idea who that is.
He looks like Thor in outfit, but he has a horse face. He's an alien.
Oh.
He usually uses Stormbreaker, and Thor usually uses Mjolnir, his hammer.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So they hinted in the Thor Ragnarok that Beta Ray Bill, like they drew from Planet Hulk and the Ragnarok comics to make that movie. And in Planet Hulk, he fights Beta Ray Bill, not Thor.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But
like, see, again, that's just ultimate fan service, right?
Yeah,
Wolverine.
no, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, when you pick Wolverine, you could put him in like his current day all black, cool X-Men
X-Men
suit.
yeah.
You could put him in his traditional yellow, the coolest one suit. He could just be in like a wife beater and jeans. Like it's Spider-Man can have symbiotes.
You like his yellow suit better than his like brown, early.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, yellow X-Men suit is my favorite
because the
Wolverine.
'90s cartoon.
Because of the cartoon. Yeah.
Okay.
Like Spider-Man can rock the symbiote. You know what I mean? Like it's
and that's the best suit when Spider-Man's rocking the symbiote.
Ultimate fan service, dude. It's just if you were not a Marvel fan, you could play this and have a good enough time just running around beating people up.
Yeah.
But once you really dip into like under the hood and see just how deep each character is
and
like,
how accurate they got everything. Like like I said, I don't know if they drew from a comic series to make this or what, but just the villains were spot on. The villains' motives were spot on. The heroes, the way the heroes interacted with each other, like it was all just very, very meticulously researched and spot on.
Totally. And you could actually build like real teams and get bonuses if you assemble.
Yeah.
Like, and there was stuff like the Avengers or like the Fantastic Four, or I think you could like build like Spider-Man or something. Like there's a whole bunch of them. Like there's more than I even know. I don't even know who half of them are.
Yeah,
like,
I think you could do the Defenders if they had Luke Cage and Daredevil, and I forget the rest of the Defenders. Right. Iron Fist and someone else. I don't know. Like
really, really cool, man. Like
Defenders might have been in the second one, to be honest.
Right. And that's something I had to look up as well, like you said, because the second one plays kind of like Civil War, if I'm not mistaken. That's what it is, right? It's Civil War, right? Yeah. Where like one side is Iron Man and one side is Captain America.
Yeah. And so in the movie, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Civil War thing, their hero registry, it's like 6 heroes. Who gives a crap? But in the comics, it's like 50 on 50. There's that fight scene in the airport in the movie.
Yep.
And in the comics, like, in the movie, it's like 9 on 9 with Ant-Man, being a giant there. Yeah. In the comics, it's like hundreds of heroes are beating the crap out of each other at this airport. Like it's like way more epic.
I love it.
So in this, it's way better.
Right. And then the main thing that I thought was this game and turned out it was Ultimate Alliance 2. And actually I was disappointed because I thought it was this one. Was in Ultimate Alliance 2, every single hero had a move that they could combine with another hero. Yeah. And then like it would do things like Storm would shoot her lightning and Captain America would like use his shield to like deflect it into like a whole bunch of different bolts. And that's just one of like a million examples. And that wasn't.
I think you could throw Wolverine with Thing or something.
Right,
that,
like
maybe
so
Hulk,
many cool combos, which I don't believe were in the first one.
No,
but we didn't miss it till we knew it. That once we used it, then we're like, oh well, that was fucking way better.
And that's how they stepped it up and graphically got better, right?
Yeah, totally.
But and I bet you this one's done on a comic series, and I just haven't read it.
Oh yeah, if there's just like we did with the Maximum Carnage episode a couple weeks ago, if there's a goddamn computer. I don't know why I keep saying the word computer. I have no idea if I'm looking at a computer. If there's a comic book nerd out there that's like, Daredevil actually has his alternate costume is of the Punisher, but from episode 46 of the Magic
nerd.
Key. Yeah, like we're nerds too, but okay. One of the only criticisms I have of this game is, I do think that at times the beating 'em up still kind of gets a little bit monotonous, but I do think that they fix a lot of that. Not only being able to switch out and build a new team of 4, but like when you're playing it 1, 2, or 3 player, at any point all you have to do is hit a button
and you switch,
and you'll control a different member of the team. Yeah. So which is really cool because if you take 4 different characters like you had described with your team into the battle, then you're like, I'm getting tired of kicking everyone's ass as Spider-Man. Then you just hit the button and now you're Deadpool, and it's all different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I really think like that's an ingenious way to break up the monotony of just beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up. Because at least you
Absolutely.
can play different. You know what I mean?
And then having save states, like the progression of having save states, so you can just save and like, I'm kind of bored of this now. You don't have to. It's not like last week talking about Maximum Carnage, where
Right.
you have to play it from start to finish,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
not finish.
Yeah, like because it's obviously way longer, right?
Right. So then that also helps break up the monotony.
Yeah.
And like you said, the hero switching, that's nice.
It's huge, yeah. Like it's and like even if you get into a sorry, I was gonna go on to what I hate about it, and I will in a second. Even like you get into a certain situation where you realize like we're in a really tight space here. Spider-Man's powers aren't that useful in here. I need a tank. So
Yeah.
then you just switch to Wolverine or Thing or something.
Yeah.
And just start fucking pounding on people, you know?
Lead the way.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that aspect, you know? What I hated about it was the puzzles. The fucking quote unquote puzzles. And so many video games do this, and I don't know why. I guess it's to break up the action, but like
Yeah.
Tomb Raider does it, Uncharted does it, like
It's
these games do it.
It's
So
the Legend
many.
of Zelda formula.
oh.
Legend of Zelda is successful because of the puzzles, so we should have puzzles.
Yeah, but like so many of the puzzles are just like drag these 3 fucking pillars to 3 new spots, and the new spots just happen to be marked on the floor with the symbols of the pillars, and you're looking at it, and the heroes are like, well, I'm not sure what we do here. And it's like, get the fuck out of here, you're not. Like,
Reed Richards, you're a super genius.
Yeah.
Solve the puzzle.
that's the only reason we brought you, you useless tit. Like, fuck. So like I get that they have to make the puzzles kind of easy because you know kids are probably playing. You don't want kids getting stuck.
That's probably
But
a
like,
lot of it.
listen, as I know a lot of game developers probably listen to this shitty podcast. Like,
All of them.
it's
This
like
is
we
the pulse. They got their fingers on it.
right. You know what I'm holding in my hand right now is a smartphone that can look up anything I want. So at any point, if I hit a puzzle that's too complicated, I can just Google how to beat this puzzle, and then I'll see how to beat it.
They didn't have smartphones back then.
I know they didn't, but
But they still had Google.
there was still walkthroughs and Google and like
Did you?
you can make them a little easier that are a little harder.
I don't know if I printed off. Did you ever print off walkthroughs?
Dude, I printed off a Final Fantasy. I had my mom print off a Final Fantasy VII walkthrough for me when I
And it
was
was
in
200
school.
pages?
It was a binder. She printed it off at work. I brought it home, and she was like, "If my boss finds out about this, I might get fired." It was literally like a phone-size filled book.
I don't know if I printed one off for this game, but yeah, I remember printing off a few, and old man would come home and just lose it.
Yeah,
Where
you
it's
just
like,
burned through an entire ink cartridge in a package of paper.
It
like-
wasn't the paper; it was the freaking ink cartridge.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are expensive.
Yeah, and then if there's any like fucking screenshots in it, then it like. But like, just like if you're gonna put puzzles in a game, put a little bit of challenge behind them, or just don't fucking put them in there because it just like I get you need to break up the action occasionally, but it just gets fucking stupid and it's boring and it sucks.
Yeah, and you want it to be rewarding.
This
you want the
game
puzzle,
fucking
you want
sucks.
You want to solve a puzzle, and you want to feel like you got rewarded.
Yes.
Not like, that was
We don't need
monotonous.
participant ribbons for fucking puzzles in video games. Just make them challenging or get them out of there.
That's what elementary school's for.
Yeah, god damn it. Oh yeah, and the last note I had on my sheet here that I want to say is the cutscenes actually look pretty fucking rad too.
Yeah, really
Like-
good.
Like this is a goddamn good game. Like I'm really legitimately excited for Ultimate Alliance 3. Like I am fucking pumped.
Since having the kid, we're playing more Switch. I'm not able to jump on the computer as much anymore because apparently you need to put in 100 million hours to be good at any computer game. Whereas on the Switch, I can be decent enough until I play online against the Japanese and get my
And
ass
then
kicked.
get your ass kicked. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I'll be dropping this episode on Wednesday, July 17th, and Friday, July 19th is the day that Ultimate Alliance 3 comes out. Which, if that is the case, I will be on a plane on my way to Toronto for a 3-week comedy tour, and I'll have nothing to do for the next 3 weeks. So I will most likely buy, beat, and then trade in or sell Ultimate Alliance because it is one of those ones after you beat
I
it
thought
once
you
or
were going to
twice.
say
you're
Diablo
done.
3 just now.
No, Diablo 3 can suck my ass. I fucking love these games. I have like good memories of playing Ultimate Alliance. I think 2 specifically with my nephew, and I used to be with Big Brothers Big Sisters. I had a little brother, and I would play with him. And it actually, it almost burned the games out for me because they would play them so much, and I was like, it gets old. You know what I mean? Even like I've used every character, I'm fucking done. But they're just, dude, they're so fun. Multiplayer is the way to play them.
Well, and you hit it on the head. Like playing Ultimate Alliance with my buddy Lee, my cousin Chris. This was one of the games where like, similar to GoldenEye, where the guys would come over and you would play it. We were a little bit older, so it wasn't like all the neighborhood kids, but it was your buddies came over, you had a couple beers, and you were just playing Ultimate Alliance nonstop.
Yeah. Dude, they're great games. I'm really legit.
I was always the dickhead who would not let the party progress. I'd always hide in the corner and be
There's
like,
always one guy that just stands there, and the screen only stretches a little bit, and then I don't even think these ones stretched at all.
No.
And then you just was stuck, and he was like, "Come on, fucking Wolverine or whatever." And he's like, I'm Wolverine. I fucking don't like Wolverine very much.
What?
I did, but I'm just sick of him. I got fucking sick of him. I was like, oh, here comes Wolverine again. Oh, here comes Wolverine. Where the fuck is Gambit? Who is the best X-Men, by the way?
Well, they're not. I think they're not making that movie anymore. So is he the best?
Yes, he
Because
fucking.
Wolverine has his own.
Because they
movies.
knew if they made a Gambit movie, it would trump every other super. They're like, well, we can't play our best card, and then we can't make any more superhero movies. And that's what would happen if they made a Gambit movie because he's the best one.
Back, yeah.
He wasn't. I think he's in Ultimate Alliance 2. I don't think he was in this one.
No, he wasn't.
That felt good. Ultimate Alliance 3 is coming out in 2 days if I planned this right. So you should, if you're a Switch owner, consider picking it up because unless the reviews come out, it sucks. It looks fucking rad. The Guardians of the Galaxy are in it, which is fucking rad.
Yeah, and it's so cool that they, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, basically breathed life into that series.
Blue life.
Blue?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Guardians of the Galaxy used to blow, and now they don't.
Right.
Since the movies, like
Yeah, I didn't even know who the fuck the Guardians of the Galaxy were until the movies, and now I'm like, dude, Guardians of the Galaxy are fucking pretty rad.
that's the best movies, I think.
Especially Rocket. Is it Rocket? The little raccoon. He's
Yeah.
fucking
Bradley Cooper.
God, he's the best. He's the fucking best. Okay, that's enough. We've nerded out just enough. This has been amongst the nerdiest episodes we've ever done of this show, but I can live with that. Before we,
I think the content lends itself to being nerdy.
yeah, I think it's a fucking old video game podcast. It's not like we're usually cool. Are we ready to score this thing?
Yeah,
What would you give Marvel Ultimate Alliance on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd say a 9, like a solid 9.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I start to finish played through both of them when they came out. I loved them. I had really good memories of them with my friends. The uniqueness of each character, like it holds up too. Like
Yeah.
you can go back and play it. They polished the graphics when they re-released them on different systems. Like it's a solid 9.
All right. Yeah, I'll go 8.5 only because I would give Ultimate Alliance 2 the 9
All right.
because it was better. But they're both, yeah, I agree with that. Like I get bored quickly of beat 'em ups, and I really enjoyed
And the
all
story,
of these games.
The story. That's the other thing is the story in this game is
It's a
very
movie.
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
very true to Marvel comics, and
Yeah.
it could be a movie quite easily.
Yeah, it's like playing through a movie, except awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking way to end the show, Adam.
Yeah,
you
movies
dipshit.
aren't awesome. Adam doesn't like movies.
Dude, thanks for doing this. And you guys, if you're listening to this in 2 days, Ultimate Alliance 3 drops on the Switch. Go get it. Probably. Unless reviews suck. We're recording this on June 14th. Maybe it'll turn out that it sucks, but I don't think it's going to suck. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So probably go get it. All right.
Just go get it.
Just go get it.
Support.
And don't play Diablo because Diablo sucks.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Wait, I like Diablo.
And that's going to do it for this week's episode. Tyler, thank you so much for talking Ultimate Alliance with me, and to each and every one of you beautiful people, thank you so much for listening to the show. If you liked it, please leave us a good review on iTunes and stuff. You guys know I always ask for those, even though I'm not sure why. Follow us on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Member the Game, not Remember, just Member. Or you can look for Remember the Game on Facebook, or obviously youtube.com/Remember the Game. Please, I subscribe back to everybody I can. I try to interact with everybody on there. Don't forget our Patreon, you guys. Patreon.com/Remember the Game. $2 a month gets you 2 extra episodes, a shout out on the show, and do not miss your chance to get in on a draw to give away a Sega Genesis Classic. The deadline for that is July 31st. So go check it out. Patreon.com/Remember the Game. I will be back on Monday, the 22nd, with your second Patreon exclusive episode of the show for July. And then I will be back on Wednesday, July 23rd? 4th. God, I suck at math. July 24th with episode 56 of Remember the Game. I haven't decided what game it's going to be yet. I have one in mind, and it's very special to me, but we'll see. It always kind of depends on my mood. And quickly, yeah, if you're in Ontario, come say hi. I'm going to be out there. for the next 3 weeks. I'm leaving on Friday. I need some friends. Toronto, Kingston, and Ottawa. Go to the Absolute Comedy website, absolutecomedy.com, or I don't know. Just Google Absolute Comedy. You'll find the comedy clubs. I'll be at all 3 of those clubs. I would love to see you. Come say hi. And that's enough. I'll shut the fuck up. Thanks for listening, you guys. I'll be back in a few days with another episode. Go play some video games. Take it easy. Cheers.